श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सम्प्रति अग्रिम प्रश्नत्रयस्य उत्तरमाह. So now Bhagavan is giving the answers to the next agrima. Agrima means the next. Prashna, question. Traya, three. The next three questions. Okay. Adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha purushachadhidaivatam adhiyajño ahamevatra dehe teha bhrutam varaha. Adhibhutam ksharaha bhavaha पुरुषश्च अधिदैवतम् अधियज्ञः अहम् एव अत्र देहे देहभृतां वरः. I forgot to say this in Tamil. Just remembered something. This is the importance of studying things in tradition, right? So, see, earlier we saw something. The meaning for kshara or purusha etc. in a different sense. Now he is using the same word but giving a different interpretation altogether for those words. If we are just going to see it from outside, we are going to say, oh, kshara, oh, adhibhutam is kshara, okay, oh, ksharati, naksharati, oh, or something like that, all that ideas. So he is bringing that adhibhutam ksharo bhavaha. Akshara we saw, naksharati iti. Here it is ksharati iti, that which undergoes destruction, bhavaha. Purushascha, purusha uttama purushastvanyah paramatmetyudahrutaha, he said. So the other uttama purusha is called paramatma. Purusha is paramatma, atma. That is how we interpreted all these ways. Here he says purushascha adhidaivatam. Adhidevata is purusha. Adhiyajño ahamevatra. Adhiyajña is I am the adhiyajña. Here. Atra. Here means dehe. In this body I am the adhiyajña. Deha bhrutam varaha. One who is superior, greatest among the people, those who have the body. Okay. So ksharati iti ksharaha, vinashi. Ksharaha means vinashi, that which undergoes destruction. Bhavaha yatkinchit janimastu vastu. Whatever that which has taken birth, that which is born, that is which is created here. Okay. Bhutam means pranijatam, all the living beings. Adhikrutya bhavati iti adhibhutam, that which is existing based on the bhutas, on the living beings, is called as adhibhutam. Okay. Iti uchyate. Purushaha hiranyagarbha. Purusha means hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha, the firstborn. Okay. Samashti linga atma. Samashti linga atma, the one who is the one who is the subtle body, the collective subtle body. He is a hiranyagarbha. Okay. Linga atma. Vyashti sarvakarana anugrahaka. And he is the one who blesses the individuals. Okay. How do you know this? Atma vedamagrasit purusha vidaha. This Atma is what was in the form of Purusha vidaha, means in the form of Purusha. Iti upakramya. Beginning with this, yat purvo asmat sarvasmat sarvam atma au sarvan atmana aushat tasmat purushaha. Sa yad purvaha asmat. Before this, he is giving the interpretation to the Shruti is giving the interpretation to the words Purusha. Purvaha asmat, before this, sarvasmat, before all this, sarvan papmanaha, all the papas, all the sins, aushat, it destroyed, it burned down, it annihilated. Tasmat Purusha, therefore it is called as Purusha. Ityadi Shrutya Pratibhadyatah. With these kind of Shrutis, it is very clearly established who the Purusha is. chakarat with the cha, there is another meaning. Savai sharirih pratamaha savai purusha uchyate adikarta sabhutanam brahma agre samvartata. Brahma agre samvartata. This Brahman existed before as a shariri pratamaha, as the one who has the body embodiment, the first embodiment. He is referred to as Purusha. The one who had the first embodiment is one who is referred to as Purusha. Adikarta Sabhutanam. He is the first creator for all the beings. He is the firstborn and he is the creator of all the beings. So that Brahman which has taken this form is a Purusha. Okay, it is not Brahman the Purusha. You have to understand. Ityadi Smrityasya Pratipaditha. In this Smriti also it is very clearly established. So not just Shruti which establishes the Purusha to be the firstborn, it is also the Smriti which establishes the same idea. Adhidevatam. Devatan देवतानि आदित्यादीन अधिकृत्य देवतानि आदित्यादीन अधिकृत्य चक्षुरादि करणानि अनुगृह्णाति इति. So adhidevata means that which is based on the devatas and blesses what? The sense organs. See, eyes, the sense organ of eyes is blessed by the sun, etc. They say. So now the Adhidevata means the residing deity in each of the sense organ. There is a residing deity which blesses the sense organs. If there is a residing deity in each of the sense organs, then the sense organs should perform perfectly. It is not so. We have beautiful ears, the ear mole, but no ear hearing capacity. Beautiful eyelashes and all that, but no seeing capacity or dull seeing capacity, etc. That is not because of the residing deity, it is because of the residing deity is incapacitated. He is made powerless because of our sins. Oh, then my sin is going to make this fellow weak. So it is not so. He does not become weak or strong because of your punya or papa. He blesses you according to your punya and papa. That is the idea. Okay, we can go on and on with regarding to this question in this way of questioning, but this is the idea. Okay, so tatha uchyate. That is how it is said. Adhiyajnah means Sarvayajna Adhishtata, Sarvayajna Phaladata Dayakascha. Adhiyajna means one who is the one who resides in all the oblations. Not just that, he is the one who bestows the result in all the oblations too. Okay? Sarvayajna Abhimanini Vishnuaksha Devata. The one, who are you referring to? The one who identifies himself with the oblations. The deity called Vishnu. How do you name him as Vishnu? How do you point out that this is only Vishnu? Yajño vai Vishnu. There is a statement very clearly said in the Shruti. Yajño vai Vishnu. There is another statement. Yajño vai Rudraha. Okay? There is no difference between Rudra and Vishnu. Therefore, there is no confusion here. Sacha Vishnu Adhiyajñah. And that Vishnu is Adhiyajñah. Oh, it is that Vishnu you are talking about who is Adhiyajna. If you think like that, immediately Bhagavan says, Ahameva, Aham Vasudeva eva, na tad mad bhinnah kaschite. That Vishnu is me, myself, not different from me. You say Rudra? Oh, that Rudra is me, not different from myself. That is the idea here. Okay? So, अतएव परब्रह्मणः सकाश अत्यंत अभेदेन एव प्रतिपत्तव्यः इति कथम इति व्याख्यातम्. So this is why we have to understand it to be not different entirely or identical with the absolute self. So therefore, with this the question katham is answered. How? That is answered. Sacha atra asmin manushya dehe yajna rupena vartate buddhyadi vyatirikto Vishnu rupatva. That Vishnu is different from the buddhi, etc. Therefore, staying at that form, he is different. He resides in the body and is different from the intellect, etc. That is established here. Etena. With this, sa kim asmin dehe vartate tato bahirva. Dehe chet kotra buddhyadi tad vyatirekto va iti sandeho nirasta. With this, the doubt regarding who is this Ajiyagnya, who is this self? Is he someone who is the body sense organ complex or different from it? If he is different from the body sense organ complex, if he is different from the body, then is he the intellect, etc., or is he different from the intellect, etc.? These kind of questions are completely negated, knocked off. Manushya dehe cha yajnasya avasthanam yajnasya manushya deha nirvartyatva. See, why do you say yajna resides in me? Because the human body is the in human body, we specify very clearly. Why? Because only the human body is capable of performing and completing the fire oblations or any oblation for that matter. Okay. Purusho vai yajnaha पुरुषो वै यज्ञः पुरुषस्तेन यज्ञो यदेनं पुरुषस्तनुते इत्यादि श्रुतिः. The Shruti very clearly says Purusha is yajna, and this Purusha is one who expands the karmas. Tanu vistare dhatu. He expands the karmas. Ityadi Shruti. Shruti also establishes that Purusha is the yajna. So, he dehavrtam varaha. Now he is coming to the vacative. He dehavrtam varaha. One who is superior among the people who hold the body sense organ complex. Why is he saying that? Sarva praninam sreshta iti sambodhi. So you are superior among all the living beings by calling him so. Pratikshanam mad sambhashanat kritakrtyah tvam etad bodha yogyositi protsahayan Arjun, protsahanti Arjunam Bhagavan. See, this is the problem with us. First, we start anything, whatever we learn, whether we learn Vedanta, we learn astrology, we learn palmistry, or we learn science, whatever. In the beginning, it will look very easy. This is simple, very good. I like this. I love this. After a point, it will be little complicated. After further down, it will seem to be very confusing. Oh, so many things I have to remember. So many things I have to know. Any study. So he says. So now we are in the 8th chapter. Arjuna thinks. So he's been teaching me for 8 chapters till this 8th chapter. 7 chapters over, and still I have not understood it. I don't think I am fit for this. I don't think I am made for this. This is how people give up. In the middle, 8th chapter, we have only total 18 chapters, and he is giving up at 8th chapter. So he should not give up at 8th chapter. So Bhagavan says, you are superior. Why? Because Pratikshanam mad sambhashanat kritakritya. See, we see some great people, we want to speak to them, we want to talk to them. Very difficult. Even there, if we get a chance to talk to them, take autograph and all that, we feel blessed. Now, Arjuna is not in a position, in such a simple position. Pratikshanam mat sambhashanat. Every second he is listening to Bhagavan's words. He is speaking, talking with Bhagavan. He is having a dialogue with Bhagavan. Every second. Kritakrityaha. Therefore, he has done whatever has to be. People, even to have a glimpse of Bhagavan, they do so many things. Tapas. Now, Bhagavan is there among them, and he is chatting with them. Now, therefore, he seems you are blessed. You have to understand that. He says, Tvam Etad bodhayogyosi, therefore you are capable of understanding the truth. Remember that. You are capable of understanding truth. Among all the thousands of people, how many are there interested in this Vedanta? So remember, you are capable of understanding the truth. Iti protsahayanti Arjunam Bhagavan. In this way, Bhagavan encourages Arjuna, don't give up. Put some more effort. अर्जुनस्य सर्वप्राणिश्रेष्ठत्वं भगवद अनुग्रह अतिशय भाजनत्वात् प्रसिद्धमेव. Why is Arjuna is superior? Why call him superior? It is very clear. If you see today, from what we understand from these smritis, you see, oh, he was so close to Arjuna than the other people. This we can gauge now, but during the period of Arjuna, even Duryodhana recognized this fact that you are close to those fellows, and especially to this Arjuna. Even Duryodhana recognized this fact. So the point is, it is very famous at all the point of time that Bhagavan loves Arjuna more than others. Iti prasiddhameva. His grace towards Arjuna is more than the others, that of the others. Of course, it should be his brother-in-law, right? So idanim prayanakale, he married his Krishna's sister Subhadra. इदानीं प्रयाणकाले च कथं ज्ञेयो असि इति सप्तमस्य प्रश्नस्य उत्तरमः. Now the final question: how do you become known at the time of death? So for that he is answering, अंतकाले च माम् एव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः. This is a very important mantra. I didn't say sloka, I said mantra. This is a very important mantra. Why? Because Bhagavan promises you something very, very important. What does Bhagavan promise you? Nastyatra samshaya. There is no doubt. No doubt for what? Madbhavam yati. He gains me. There is no doubt. Who gains you? Yaf prayati kalevaram muktva. One who travels after giving up the body sense organ complex, he gains me. There is no doubt. Whom are you talking about? Antakalecha mam eva smaran. One who remembers me, one who meditates on me, one who thinks about me even at the time of death. That is the catch. That is the catch. Antakale mam, it is not Antakale mam. Antakale, at the time of death, mam, me. Eva smaran, only remembering me. That is okay. Only remembering, only him. Okay, fine. Only you, fine. No problem. He is not just putting an important catch there, only me, meditating only on me. He is also saying Antakale cha. And also during the time of death, meaning you should think about him always. It is very difficult to think about Ishvara at the time of death. No, it is very difficult. Without the samskaras, without the strength of the samskaras, it is very difficult. That is why I keep repeating again and again, we have to take the name of Ishvara always. Build as much as samskara possible for us to remember him at the time of death, even at the time of death. Otherwise it is difficult, because so many things cloud our brain. So many things. Normally, even otherwise, so many things. That is why every guru has this problem. At the end of his time, he always has this problem, that I didn't see anyone who is interested really in this truth. everyone. So one Mahatma says, I opened the shop, there is no one to buy, so I closed it down. So that is how the situation is. This is very evident in Bhagavan Bhashyakara's statement in Bhajagovinda. Bhajagovinda, in Bhajagovinda, he says, बालस्तावत् क्रीडा सक्तः, तरुणस्तावत् तरुणी सक्तः, वृद्धस्तावत् चिंता सक्तः, परमे ब्रह्मणि कोपि न सक्तः. बालस्तावत् क्रीडा सक्तः, the kid is interested in playing. तरुणस्तावत् तरुणी सक्तः, a young boy or a young girl is interested in young girl or young boy, whichever, whatever. तरुणस्तावत् तरुणी सक्तः. वृद्धस्तावत् चिंतासक्तः, at the old age, the old people are always thinking about this and that. Always they want to keep everything under their control. Everything according to their thinking. Why is he parking the car there? It's a common road. What's your problem? Why is he honking the horn? Somebody is there in front of him. Anything and everything they have a complaint. Chinta sakta, always thinking about something or other. That is why I keep repeating. They say when someone is younger, what at this young age, what is it? Why are you interested in all these Vedantic things, stupid things? Go. Okay. After a little, he becomes a little older. You say, study properly. Okay, he studies properly and clears all the papers and the exams and whatever studying he needs to do, he has done that. Now, get a proper job. Think about that. Okay, gets a proper job. Get married. Why do you think about all these things now? Get married. Then get kids and all that. Okay, he gets kids and all that. Then give them education, proper education. The cycle again, the same cycle, but instead of you being the object, your son will be this, daughter will be the object. Now you have to work for them. And then when you are 80 or 60 or 80, 70, when you have grandchildren, at least now let me. What are you talking about that now? Huh? You have to see your grandson or granddaughter getting married. Don't you? Stop this. Now, that also is short. It is very difficult. And when you don't have the practice of meditating when you are young, your body, sense organs are sharp and capable of doing things. Now, when you don't do it at that point of time, after 50, then your body, you plan to sit for meditation. Instead of meditating on Rama, you will be meditating on pain. Your knee is now starting itching. There is a pain there. Backbone has a problem. Some problem or other, there will always be a nag. You will not be able to do the proper meditation. So that is why he says, Bhavam Smaran. I remember this song. सांसों की माला पे सिमरू में पीका नाम सीताराम, they say. Pika naam Sitaram. Change it to Sitaram. Pika naam. P means Priya, the one who is dear, the loved. So, Saason ke mala pe. See, you use a mala to chant mantra. So, instead of using the mala as the chanting mode, I am using the breath. In breath, Rama. Out breath, Rama. Like that, inhaling and exhaling. While inhaling and exhaling, I'm using that as the mala and I'm remembering. Simro. Simro means smaran karo. Let me, in Hindi, let me remember him. Using this breathing as my mala. The loved one. Now, Simran is also name of they give this name Simran. It's actually Smaran. Smaran, it changes its form and it becomes Simran, like colloquial language. Okay, now Mam eva Bhagavantam, me, only me. Who? Bhagavan. Which Bhagavan? Vasudevam. Don't have any doubt about it. Vasudevam. Me, who is Vasudeva? Me. Ajyajna, one who is referred to as Ajyajna. Vasudeva. Which kind of Vasudeva? Because you always say when you say Krishna, Krishna should be understood. Yes, whichever Krishna. Saganam Nirgunam va. You take Vasudeva as sun god or as Shiva or as Vishnu, whatever. Whether you want to see him as a attributed self or non-attributed self, whichever form you take Vasudeva as a paramam aksharam brahma na natu adhyatmadikam. So that absolute self, that aksharam, that paramam, that absolute self, not the one which was referred to as adhyatmika, adhidevika, etc. Not that self. Smaran. Smaran means sada chintayan, always meditating upon him, always thinking about him. Chintayan. Tat samskara patavat. Why do we have to think about him always? Because thinking means, remembering him means you are strengthening the samskara, you are strengthening the thought imprint. Therefore, by the expertise in that thought imprint, samskara patavat, because of the expertise in that thought imprint, because of remembering him again and again, it has become your second nature, like your breathing. So therefore, samasta karnagrama vayagriyavati antyakale api. When your sense organs they are not under your control, when they don't listen to your whims and fancies. I've seen some old person dying in front of me. At the point of death, we think, okay, we can meditate upon Ishvara at the time of death. So this is beautiful. This is a beautiful mantra. Antakale ma. Oh, at the deathbed, one who meditates. But the problem is, the caveat is, the catch is cha. Why it is important? Because at the deathbed, I have seen very closely, they will start seeing the Pitrus, the elders who have died earlier to them. They will be there waiting for them, inviting them. Come, why are you wasting your time there? Come. So they will be showing, who is that? Who is that? You won't see anyone there because it is not your time. So you'll be looking, what, who, where? But they are visible to Shastra says these things. And I've seen it very clearly in front of my eyes. Not the Petrus, but the person who is dying, he is seeing these people. I've seen it very clearly. So these things happen. You will forget about everything. You won't even remember your sons, daughters, your wife, husband, etc. You will only think about your next birth. Because at the time of bed, Jalukavat, Shruti says Jalukavat, like a leech. A leech catches hold of the next and leaves the previous. Similarly, this Jiva catches hold of the next birth and leaves this birth. So he is getting ready for that. Jiva will not have time for any time for Ishvara, Bhagavan. So, Antakale api smaran. So, because of the practice, because of the strength of the thought imprint, he thinks about him at the death point, at the deathbed, and Kalevaram Muktva, thinking about him when he gives up the body. At that point of time, Sharire, Kalevaram Muktva means, how does he give up? Sharire aham mama abhimanam tyaktva. By giving up the I, mine, attachment with the body sense organ complex. That is what is giving up. That is what is death. Death is not the physical death. Death is not just the physical death. Even the death during the time of realization, that also is a death. Because you give up the attachment with the body sense organ complex. Therefore, prana viyoga kali yaha prayati. And importantly, more importantly, at the time of the breath leaving the the vital air leaving the body sense organ complex. Now, you meditate upon saguna or nirguna. The result is you gain me. How? So that is said. Saguna dhyana pakshe, it is not the same path. There is difference. Saguna dhyana pakshe, if you are meditating on the attribute itself, then Agni, Jyotihi, Ahaha, Shukla ityadi vakshamanena devayana margena. Agni, Jyotir, Aha, Shuklaha. Later he is going to say the path which this fellow who is meditating on Ishvara will take. Okay, there are two paths. One is the dark path, the black path. The other is the bright path, the white path. Okay, there are two paths. The black path, which is not black, that really black, smoky path, they say, smoke. Okay, it is dhumayana. Okay, it is not really smoky path. It's a good, better path also. It may not be the best path, but it is better path also, because not all of them are qualified to go through that world also. Pitruloka. Pitruloka is the loka of the ancestors. Means now, without going there, this fellow who is a upasaka, who meditates upon Ishvara, the attribute itself, he will travel through the Devaloka, the path of light, the white path. Okay, and what will he do there? Devayana margena, Pitruyana margat prakarshena yati, which is better than the the path of ancestors. This path of deities is better than the path of ancestors. He travels that through that path. And sa upasakaha madbhavam madrupatam nirguna brahma bhavam yati prapnoti. He gains me. Me means the non-attributed self. Oh, this is beautiful. No, wait. There is a word which is missing there. The word is, I didn't read that. Hiranyagarbha loka bhogante yati. At the end of his experiences, his enjoyments in the Hiranyagarbha loka, the world of the firstborn, along with the firstborn, he will also get released. The firstborn also is a liberated soul who is bound by his karma. So along with him, this fellow will also get released if he understands the truth in that world. This is called as krama mukti. We don't prescribe this. So he says, nirguna brahma smarana pakshetu. If you are going to meditate upon the non-attributed self, then kalevaram tyaktva prayatiti lokadrishtya viprayam. See, he, after giving up the body sense organ complex, he travels. This is with respect to the, he leaves the body sense organ complexes with respect to the world. That is how people in the world say, he left the body. Where is leaving and going and coming? There is no traveling here and there, because self is the only thing that exists. There is no travel there. There is no time space. So, natasya prana utkramante atraiva samavaliyanta iti shruti. Shruti also very clearly says his pranas don't travel, leave this body and go out. It merges here and now. Iti shrutehe. Tasya prana utkramana bhavena gatya bhavat. Since the pranas don't leave and travel above, there is no movement, there is no going anywhere. Sa madbhavam sakshadeva yati brahmaiva san brahma prapnoti. He gains me absolutely. How do you know? Brahmaiva san brahma prati. He was always Brahman. Now, being Brahman, he gains Brahman. So, there is no difference here. Iti shrutehe. Because of the ignorance, he thought he has not gained the Brahman. Now that ignorance is removed, he remains as that Brahman, as that self. Iti shrutehe. Nasti atra deha vyatiriktah atmani madbhava apto va samshaya. There is no doubt regarding whether the body, the self is different from the body sense organ complex, or the self is different from the Ishvara, etc. There is no doubt regarding these kind of things. Atma dehadi atrikto nava. Because this is what the doubt we showed there in the previous place. Is the self different from the body, etc.? देहा व्यतिरिक्ते अपि ईश्वरात् भिन्नो न वा. Even if it is different from the body sense organ complex, is the self different from the Ishvara? These kind of doubts sandeho na vidyate. There is no place for these kind of doubts. Chidyante sarva samshayaha iti Shruti very clearly says, Chidyante sarva samshayaha chiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. When he sees that absolute self, all his doubts are annihilated, destroyed. अत्र च कलेवर मुक्त्वा प्रयाति इति देहात् भिन्नं मद्भावं याति इति च ईश्वरात् अभिन्नं जीवस्य उक्तत् इति द्रष्टव्यम्. So two things are answered. Kalevaram muktva, giving up the body sense organ complex. With that, the self is different from the body sense organ complex is established. Then mat bhavam yati, he gains me. With that, the self is not different from the Ishvara is also established. Self is different from the body sense organ complex. Self is not different from the Ishvara. Both are established. Antakale Bhagavantam Anudhyayatah Bhagavad Prapti Niyata iti. So at the time of death, if you are going to think about Bhagavan, you are going to definitely gain Bhagavan. Niyata, definitely gain Bhagavan. That is okay. Iti vaditum. When you say that, anyadapi yatkinchit kale, yatkinchit tatkale dhyayatah, whoever, whatever he meditates at that point of time, deham tyajatah, one who gives up the body when that, at that point of time, tat praptihi avashyam bhaviniti darsheti, he is going to gain definitely that. That is also established. See, if he is going to meditate upon Bhagavan, he is going to gain Bhagavan. If he is going to meditate upon something else, he is going to gain that. We have a very beautiful example on Jadabharata. Jadabharata, during this life, as a monk, he had great love for this deer, which came as a baby. He was so attached to that, because of which he had to take birth as a deer. Because his last thought was regarding what will happen to this deer. So similarly, whatever, see, now some idiots, they write books saying that the final birth is that of a dog. What kind of stupidity are these things are? So when you see that, you will be attached, so much attached. You feeding dogs, cats, etc. is not a big deal. It is okay. Loving them is also not a problem. But being attached to them, only them, is a problem. So, because your thought will always be regarding the dog and cat, and what will you be born if your final thought is a dog or a cat? If you are going to be born that kind of dog, a luxurious dog, then it is a different thing. But if you are going to be born a dog on the street, we don't really know which is better, a jailed life or a freedom with whatever freedom it has. So we don't really know. Okay, so that is also shown here. Whatever you meditate upon, you will become that, you will gain that. Yam yam chapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalevaram tam tam evaeti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavitah. Yam yam cha api smaran bhavam, whatever may be the object of meditation you are meditating at the time of tyajantyante kalevaram, at the time of death, and you give up the, while meditating on that, you give up the body sense organ complex, tam tamma eva eti ina gatau, those very things you will gain. Sada tad bhava bhavitah, one who has meditated upon that always. Hey Kaunteya, son of Kunti, remember this. Na kevalam mam smaran mad bhavam yati iti niyamah. There is no rule that you will meditate, when you meditate upon me, you will gain me. That is not the only rule. So then what? Kimtari, what do you say more? Yam yam chapi bhavam devada vishesham. Whatever be the object of meditation, different kinds of deities, whatever it may be, whatever they may be. Chakarad anyadapi yatkinchit. With the cha, yam yam cha api, with the cha, anything else, dog, cat, all these things, whatever it may be, you meditate upon, smaran, chintayan, meditating upon them, ante, chintayan, ante, prana viyoga kale, kalevaram tyajati. At the time of death, Ante means at the time of death, when the prana, when the vital airs are about to leave the body, at that point of time, kalevaram tyajati, he gives up the body sense organ complex. Tam tam eva eti smaryamanam bhavam eva nanyam eti prapnoti. He gains only those things which he meditates, which he thinks at the time of death, and not anything else. Only that. There is no chance for him to gain something else. You meditate on this, you may gain this, not that. Something different. Iti. Hey Kaunte iti. Now he is coming to the vacative. He refers to him as Kaunteya, Kunti Putra, son of Kunti. Why? There is a catch here also. There is an importance here also. Pitru Shwasru Putratvena Sneha Atishayatvam Suchati. Kunti Putra, son of Kunti. Why he is referring to? Kunti is my father's sister. You being my father's sister's son, I love you more than others. My cousin you are. So I love you more than others. Iti Sucheti. This he refers. And another thing, there is more love because he married Subhadra, etc. I told you. Okay. Tena, because of this, वाक्य अवश्य अनुग्रहत्वं तेन च प्रतारण शंका शून्यत्वम इति. So because of this, definitely I will shower my grace on you, and because of that very reason, definitely I will not cheat you. You are my cousin. How can he cheat you? You are family. How can he cheat you? So that is the idea. Antakale smarana udyama asambhave api. At the time of death, though you may not be able to meditate upon Ishvara, Purva Abhyas Janita Vasana eva smriti heturiti. The thought imprints which you have accumulated by meditating upon Ishvara earlier, that power, that strength of thought imprint is the reason for you to meditate at the time of death is explained. Sada sarvada tasmin devata visheshadau bhavo bhavana vasana tad bhavaha sabhavitah sampaditah. One who has meditated upon that Ishvara, that special kind of form of deity, always yena satatha tad bhava bhavitah. So that is what bhavita tad bhava. That is who is referred to as bhavita tad bhava. One who meditates upon that Ishvara, that form. Haitagniyadehe akriti ganatvad bhavita patasya paranipata. See, bhavita tad bhavaha. Bhavita tad bhavaha. That is how he has put. Now, bhavita tad bhavaha. Why? Because this belongs to Akriti Gana. Akriti Gana means the final group. There are different groups, set of words. Group means set of words in Sanskrit which undergo the same kind of a transformation. So they are all clubbed together. So this Akriti Gana, the final group, they have served. So they have a rule. In that there is Ahitagni, etc. Those words. So there they have a different special kind of treatment where the nipata means, that's a special word. Nipata means the word which has one vowel. Nipata ekach anang is the sutra. Other than ang, any other word which has one vowel is called as nipata. Tad, takara, akara, dakara. So there is only one vowel. So that one vowel nipata is used in the later portion. Otherwise, it will be used in the former, in the beginning, not at the end or middle. Okay? Iti paranipataha. Tad bhavena, tad chintanena, bhavito vasita chittaha itiva. One who has the habit of meditating upon that Ishvara. Tad bhavena. Bhavena means tad chintanena, because of that his meditation on that Ishvara. Bhavitaha vasita chitta. One whose mind is habituated. That is another interpretation you can take here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति।